The Sovereign itched. He itched everywhere. All the time. He'd scratched himself raw and bleeding, but the sensation never ebbed. There was no relief. Even in sleep, he itched. The damned itching was going to drive him to madness. With a mug of ale in one hand, Kevathkul leaned against the door of his consort's apartment. The door was locked. In his palace, she dared lock a door against him. He pounded on the door with his free hand, not hard enough to break the wood, though he certainly could do that if he'd wanted, but hard enough to make his presence very, very clear. He shouted into the crack between the door and doorframe, sure that she was standing just inside, listening. "Open this door! I order you to open the door!" He pounded once more, took a long draught from his mug, and spilled almost as much as he drank on his shirt. The damned itching. It was so distracting, it made him clumsy. Still, there was no answer. "Woman! As your king, I order you to open this door!" Still, there was no answer. Kavath straightened himself up, leaning away from the door, staring at the thing like it was his personal enemy, like this thing had made the conscious decision to lock him out, to defy him, to offend him. Perhaps she wasn't even in there. When was the last time he'd even seen her? Was it a day? Was it weeks ago? Perhaps her chambers were empty. Perhaps she was dead. What if one of his many, many enemies had broken into her chambers in the night and slit her throat while she was sleeping? She could be lying there, bleeding out at that very moment. She needed him. He had to break down the door and run to her. He could still save her, and then it would all be well. All would be forgiven. He would help her, and she would help him, help distract him from the damned itching. And they would find a way to make it right. He looked at the door. He could kick it right down. There wasn't a door on Golarion that could stop the mighty Black Sovereign. He took another drink and coughed, some of the liquid running down the wrong pipe. All he had to do was kick the damn thing, and it would all be over. This would all be... Cool Inkit. Open the door. She didn't respond. He stood there for a long, long time. But she didn't respond, and he didn't kick the door down. Finally, the Black Sovereign turned away, throwing his empty mug at the unsuspecting servant who'd come with him, who was just waiting for orders, and stormed off in search of someone else to distract him. This is Pod Against the Machine.
Pod Against the Machine.
Welcome back to Pod Against the Machine, the only Pathfinder actual play that takes your bones apart only to put them back together in the name of justice. I'm your host, and here's everybody.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Things are going well on the Rebonification campaign. Rebonify Numeria.
Okay, so hear me out. Now I want to get us a giant tour bus that just has a bone on top, like a femur bone or something. And we just drive around the country and give out...
Bones?
IDK. Teeth?
Milk.
Okay, bones, teeth, and milk.
I was going to say, we just give out milk and calcium pills.
Jeff and Sam, did you want to offer something to give out?
Well, it could be toothpaste tubes with milk and teeth inside
Full
them.
of teeth and milk.
Bone paste.
Like Futurama, freaking Thompson's
I don't
teeth.
like it.
The only teeth strong enough to eat other teeth.
I'm imagining like a Wienermobile, but it's just a giant bone on top.
That's exactly
And
it. Thank you, Jeff.
That's all I needed. It's like, yeah, I'm here for it.
I've been looking forward to our first tour for years, and I'm so glad that it's come to fruition in this way. On this historic night. It's going to be historic for you in the future, too. Don't worry about it. But a good
We're
thing.
also supposed to record on a train at some point.
Right,
Yeah.
I was going to say, nothing bad could happen to the five of us getting into a van.
It's true.
I mean, especially one that's in the shape of a femur or a humorous.
Oh, a humor.
Is it shaped like it, like the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, or does it just have a picture of one on it?
Both.
Oh my God, no! There's definitely one on top of it. It's a Mystery Van Inc. with the bone on top.
And it's also made of bones.
Okay, yeah.
Ethically sourced bones.
Free range, ethically sourced bones.
We had people consent to give us their bones for science.
That's a whole new Patreon tier. You pay in bones.
Pay into the
New
bone
Patreon
fund.
tier, donate your body to the pod.
Yeah. More bod for your pod. It's the new campaign.
Yeah, my God.
All right. Last week on the program, the party finished killing the ambushers, or would-be ambushers, in the hotel room, only to find one of them surrendered upon being left with shattered bones and exhaustion. They knocked him out, threw everybody in the bag, dead bodies and living hostage, and teleported to Torch, where they popped into their home away from home, took him out of the bag, woke him up, and found out that he had kind of been left with a contingency should his group encounter the meddlesome heroes in Starfall and, say, lose a fight to them. He was to make sure that they got their hands on a comm set, which they had already relieved him of while he was unconscious. The party menaced him thoroughly and seemed to convince him that maybe going back to Starfall was not the best idea for his bones for the time being. Healed him up, got him kind of sold on the idea of being a mysterious bouncer type who works over at the foundry, and left him to his own devices in his new potential home, hundreds of miles from where he could theoretically be a threat to them. Then they popped over to Connor Bain to keep him apprised of the situation, let him know about the sellsword who had just taken up residence in his town, ask him a little bit about the Technic League names that they've learned, and see if he had any ideas for what might help them get to Vargas, who might just be locked up in that Technic basement. He said when he was planning his escape from the Technic League compound, he had heard that there was a secret tunnel that led into those basements, but he was never able to find it. So after that, the party did like a little bit of shopping, got a spell to hide Rusty, and teleported back to Starfall, which is where we are now in the liminal space mid-teleportation. Where are they going to wind up? Probably inside an active volcano.
Oh.
I mean, that or a cake hovel is always a good one. We could try to specifically land in one of the like ill-fated cake hovel kiosks that only takes crypto, but like people just couldn't really figure it out. Plus, like the Technic League, of course, hoarded it all, so like it's always empty.
Kira spent a good amount of time in that one cake hovel. I feel like she must have a solid rapport with the little teens working behind the counter. She knew all the right words to say.
I mean, but we can always go to a place where everyone knows your name. That cake hovel.
Norm.
Yeah, let's do that. I mean, it's a greater teleport, so we're going to go to the Cheers equivalent of cake hovels.
All right. You all appear in the Cheers equivalent cake hovel, which is, of course, a basement cake hovel for some reason. There's a postman and a Norm and all that good stuff.
Come get your basement cake.
Fantasy Rhea Perlman says something sarcastic.
Yeah. So no, the word basement cake is so funny to me specifically. Like, it just sounds like something you shouldn't eat.
It's going in the episode title ideas.
There's fantasy.
I missed it.
Who was
Ted
Cheers?
Danson.
It's not Tony Danza. It's Ted Danson. Thank you. Yeah, fantasy Ted Danson is there.
Fantasy Ted Danson's everywhere.
It's a whole dancing of dancins over there.
I guess that would just be Good Place Ted Danson. That's fantasy Ted Danson.
So we've got this. We could try a couple things with it. I don't know if I particularly want to immediately engage with the person that's on the other side of this before we get a better apprehending of what's going on. Does Starfall look the same level of locked down, or even like more locked down after we committed another big series of, well, I guess we just disappeared a bunch of people.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a couple hours, but a patrol that had been camped out in a fancy hotel has disappeared. I mean, things look comparably locked down to yesterday.
We need to figure out the Tarazi situation, and then we need to go after Vargas. We've kicked the hornet's nest a lot. The only other thing I could think is that I remember we learned in the palace that, they needed to start back up Numerian fluid production. I don't know if there's any way that we can figure out which poor soul has been assigned that task and see if we can. But at the same time, all that really does is, I imagine, weaken their hold on the Black Sovereign in some way or another.
Has the radio, the comset, made any noise?
Not in the moment since you've appeared.
Oh. What if we try the comset?
Yeah. I mean, I think we eventually have to reach out that way. I was wondering, what if we try some of the other frequencies and just listen for a bit? See if we can pick up anything else. If anyone else uses these in the city, and then we reach out. And we should try to do it in a way where we have an idea of where we want to go. Ultimately, because I have a feeling that they may even try to use this to locate us, given the radius that it can be used. So
maybe we shouldn't be at my favorite cake hovel?
Yeah, I just don't know if you want to blow up like Norm's spot.
Yeah, how about we go to my least favorite cake hovel? Hate those guys.
Why is it your least favorite cake hovel, Kira? Oh, is that the one where the red velvet is made out of real velvet?
Yes, that's it. That's the one, because I totally blanked. I was like, oh no.
Because they only do pineapple right side up cake.
The monsters.
If we don't mind, I just want to do a little like dad cruising through the radio with the other frequencies to see if we pick up any chance to happen on any chatter.
Yeah, again, are you in touch with my parents? How do you know my dad?
There is a general gestalt.
So like how long are you lingering on each channel?
Let's give it like how many channels are there for one?
I'm gonna say there are 21 channels.
Let's give it a minute on each channel. It'll be 20 minutes well spent.
As you click through the channels, I'm gonna do just a couple luck checks here, see if anything comes up for you. First 4, nothing happens. Mostly getting radio silence. Then you get to like channel 15 or so. So you're getting up in there. You hear a little bit of chatter that it sounds like a patrol captain talking to another patrol captain, just like reviewing what blocks they've covered, that kind of thing. It's just like a quick exchange, and then it kind of goes dead. But that's about all you pick up.
Well, this confirms what I was wondering. So we could use this with extended period of time to ideally do some surveillance. I have to imagine they only use these within the city. It doesn't seem practical to communicate inside of the building with these, but this might be useful if we need to do anything within the city itself. Is everyone ready to reach out? I feel like if we need to leave, what I'll do is I'll just dimension door us back to the other cake hovel that we like so much, because it's one of those, like, there's 3 on every block situations. They've got the market saturated.
The good cake hovel.
Yeah, so that's the plan. All right, so we flip back to
7?
frequency 7. Yep.
What's the frequency, Kenneth?
Cassius, do you want to have a... They don't know what we sound like.
Sure. Sure. So, yeah, he takes the comm set and presses down the push to talk button and says, "I've heard you've been looking for us." And then releases the button.
And there's like a long, tense moment there where there's no response on the other side, and then the thing chirps to life, and a woman's voice comes through. She says, "To whom am I speaking?"
A potential friend. To whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
If we are playing coy here, I suppose approximately the same.
Well, pleasure to meet your acquaintance. What is the reason you sought us out?
She is silent for kind of a long time, and then eventually she says, I take it you are the people who have been causing a bit of trouble in Starfall.
I'm a bit flattered that you've thought so much of our undertakings. That's a reasonable deduction on your part. And I gather that you are someone within the Technic League?
I may well be. I think that now that we are able to speak, we may be able to help one another.
Is that so? Well, color me intrigued.
She seems to be like very carefully considering basically everything she says. Then she says, let us suppose that certain parties on this call were opposed to certain people in leadership positions in certain organizations. I think that other parties on this call may have ideas for ways that said leadership personnel could be disrupted or undermined.
Yes, I could see that perhaps some organizations' leadership is overdue for a disruption, as you called it.
She says, well, then we have an understanding.
It seems that we may indeed.
Tell me, what is it that you wish to accomplish in Starfall, in particular?
So he takes his thumb off the push-to-talk button and looks to his companions. How much do we want to tell this mysterious person? She's been rather vague. Maybe in our interest to be vague as well.
Is it too vague or not vague enough to say we want our friends back? That seems a bit specific, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking to and potentially counting upon the pure self-interest of a assumedly technically captain or aspirant. I don't think a moral appeal of our opposition to the Technical League is in our best interest if we want to realize this opportunity to its fullest potential. So we could claim pure and simple vengeance against Zidao or anyone else. See what information this person gives us, knowing full well that this could just be a trap. Just as simple as it is a naked play for power, and I would put that split at almost an even 50-50. But we could see what we could wring out of it. I'm curious. What do you feel, Alwyn?
I'm usually not very good at this kind of thing, so I think what Brixby said makes sense. We can see what this person knows, but we don't share too much about ourselves.
Big stuff. I mean, I don't know. I there's a lot of different ways we could take this. We could also try to barter for information about your mother. I don't want to take that off the table. I know it's very important for you. So, I mean, the only problem is that it can further confirm who you are and potentially endanger the people you love. But we also have to assume that fully knowing who we are is something that's going to be almost inevitable.
I think when I find out more about my mom, I want to see that person face to face. I think my mom can wait. I want to find Vargas and Tarazi. And if this person brings us closer to that, then we should tell them as much as we can.
I say we sound them out a bit. I say we ask them what they want. I say we ask them how deep their distaste for the Technical League goes. Because we could try asking this person for a way in. A way to free our friends, the location of the tunnel. But if we get the impression that this is just some lieutenant that wants to knock out somebody that's just 2 packs up, it's kind of showing our trump card.
Not to keep them waiting too much longer, then Cassius will nod and press down to push the talk button. It chirps. He says, "I've been thinking about your question. Pardon my delay, but might I ask what you would hope to get out of such an arrangement of our understanding?"
Again, there's a comparable pause. You can almost imagine her having 3 other people in the room, like, having the same conversations. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's just her. It's hard to tell. And then she comes back and she says, I suppose that's fair. I have, recently had a poor turn of fortune, you might call it, and I seek to regain things that were taken from me that requires poor things to happen to a certain man in a leadership position. I would like assistance in doing this. I believe that I would be a good ally for anyone opposed to the Technical League to have.
I have a crazy idea, but I think I might know who this is.
Oh, wait, is it the one that was at the boxing match? What the heck was her name?
No.
No, it's not her either?
No.
Okay.
I think that this is the one that was deposed. The witch from Erison.
Oh, the one that went down, yes, and came back with, like, without her arm. Yes.
I could be wrong,
Okay.
but I am occasionally a gambling rat. I would like you to just reply, if you please, with some version of "Okay, Xanabeth," and see what happens. I could be wrong.
Yes. Well, he says after the button has been pressed down, of course. I could understand that having things taken from you would be motivation for seeking a change like that. I can't quite place your accent. Is it much colder where you come from?
And then this time the silence is like long, like full on, like a straight up minute before she responds. And then finally the comm chirps and says, I see you've been doing your homework. I suppose I should expect no less, but you have me at a disadvantage. Might I know the names of at least one of the people that I'm talking to?
That seems a fair request. Pleasure to meet your acquaintance. I am called Cassius.
And I am Zarnabeth. There will be a Sky Medal for Zach for sussing her out. Enjoy this limited edition Sky Medal Goo-Tube Horror Calcum Honey Harmony, part of the 8-count variety pack, available in partnership with Charlie the Lizard Folk's Extra Secret Emporium from Enemy of the Pod, J-Rod.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you with pure animus, Enemy of the Pod, J-Rod. We appreciate you deeply and hatefully. We really like you a lot. Thanks. And please continue sending in your dedications. I think that we have a lot of potential here. Before we reply, she wants regime change. And, well, I'm not particularly familiar with what type of leader she was. I can make some assumptions about her character. Are we really just gonna, we can just, knock some people off and get our friends back, and then the technically just continues to do what the technically does?
So, out of character response to that, because Jeff wants to respond in character, but I don't know what Cassius knows yet. If you've actually told him about Unity, because you hadn't previously.
I don't think we've told him any of the Unity stuff.
Yeah.
Only the League stuff. We've told him all of the League stuff, though, like with Tarazi and Vargas and everything.
That's what I thought.
Nothing Unity.
Because Brixby, Alwyn, and Kira would presumably not. I mean, see the League as the secondary evil to the imminent threat of Unity. So if we could parlay access to the Silver Mount or something like that, and get the friends back, and then take care of Unity perhaps, and then come back and take care of the Technical League. I don't know. That's just a thought from Jeff.
I'm in sort of agreement. I don't know if the nation can continue to run if they are drugging the Black Sovereign into the freaking ground. Because they're running Numeria as an unelected cabal as long as that is happening. I mean, not saying that I don't know, whatever they do, push-ups, and then whoever wins gets to be the Kevoth strong. I don't know how they normally handle elections here in Numeria, but I mean, there is like an element of this that I think that I'm curious about what Zernabeth's view of the Technic League is and how it differs from Zydow's. I think our immediate interests, like our number one, absolutely we need to get our friends back. But there is definitely, and like unity is a larger threat from what we understand, but it's also at the same time
Or distant threat.
Yeah, I guess it's odd because like I think at this point, like, you know, I feel like I know in a meta sense that is like some semblance of like the true like biggest bad that we're going to be dealing with. But I think Brixby right now has spent like his entire life with like Numeria being run like this, right? And I think that there's kind of that so maybe I don't know if I'm being like myopic or whatever about it.
Yeah. Well, and like when you think about it, like even in character, the stuff we know about Unity, like we know from Cassandra Lee that like Unity sent her out like centuries ago. Like we know Unity's stuff is very long term. So there's no reason we would think in character that anything's going to happen anytime super soon with Unity as far as like an imminent threat.
Except for the like abductions. That's the only thing. And like the gargoyles, obviously. And like the gargoyle contacting us was kind of turning up the heat a little bit. But
would we think that like the thing with like the gargoyle is like that is an escalation, or would we think like this is probably something that like Unity's been sending people out to kidnap people in Starfall since before the city was built type thing? Like
yeah,
like I don't know what we would think of it. Like would we think, because we really don't know one way or the other yet if the thing with the gargoyle is something new or something that's been going on for as long as Unity's been sending out agents, because we know that's a thing that's been going on for centuries.
Well, like that could very easily be part of the deal, because definitely like jokes about how the electoral politics go in Numeria aside, like the technically virtually
like we know
decides
Zernabeth's been down there.
That's what I was going to say. They virtually decide it by like the extent with which you go inside the Silver Mount. So like, I mean, we can get that information from her. I feel like right now, in the most like, I guess concise way to put it would be, we're gonna like to achieve what we want, to at least get our friends out. That is going to involve doing a sustained siege against the Technic League. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
Like we are going to be destroying a lot of its infrastructure, resources, and people, most likely. And is that something like, what is she willing to do to get, and like when she's back in power, is it just to get back into the Silver Mount as quickly as possible?
Yeah. Yeah. How willing is she to give us help if we're going to like be taking out captains, not just Zydow, but like all the ones under him? Like, is she going to be okay with that, or does she want them to be there for her to be in charge of type thing? Like you said, how much damage is she going to be okay with us doing if we side with her?
I wouldn't be surprised if she was like, do it. Like they seem pretty nuts over at the Technic League. So
just gonna say, I'm trying to think of the like active harm in asking, aside from I guess the obvious of her being like, JK, I'm not on your side.
Like asking to like release our friends, or just asking what she wants to do with it.
What do you
are your
want
intentions
in
with my league? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that in episode titles. Hang on.
Cassius presses the push to talk button, and he says a couple things. He leads with, were we to facilitate your regaining of things that were taken from you, we would need and greatly benefit from the return of a couple prisoners that have been taken by the League. And I don't know, do you have anyone loyal to you still that you know of that could simplify such a thing? Or are we to be on our own in such an endeavor?
And she says, at present, my situation is difficult. I do not have as much bargaining power among my peers as I would like. I am afraid, in my current position, I could do little to help you free any particular prisoner, but were you to depose certain individuals, that would change quickly.
Sensible sort of perspective. When it comes to deposing individuals, is that limited to a select few, or if circumstances were to require us to make a more significant reduction in force, would such an outcome be displeasing to you?
I could find a way to get over it, I think.
Well, you may have discerned that our opinion of this organization is not entirely favorable. And I confess to not being personally familiar with your sort of mission statement, vision statement as what leadership would look like if it were different, if you were returned to your position. To put it more concisely, what does the daily operations look like different from now to your hopeful future?
I think I begin to understand you, Cassius. And I will say that though I used to have a position of leadership, I do not enjoy the life of a head of state. I am a scientist. I am a wizard. I wish to learn all there is to learn. I do not wish to control the lives of thousands of people. I do not wish to command armies. I wish to be free and to complete my work that I choose. I am no despot, Cassius, if that is the question.
It's certainly a rosier outlook for the people than things currently are. Do you foresee a more harmonious arrangement between the League and the people then? Does the Black Sovereign remain a puppet? Does he or future sovereigns have a place in Nymeria?
Well, I believe that the single best thing that you could do to weaken our fearless leader's control over Starfall, over Nymeria as a whole, is to free the Black Sovereign from him. I don't know if there's anything left of the man. You may simply have to kill him, or if you could find a way to free him of his addiction, free him of whatever sway Garton and the others have over him. Perhaps you could convince Kevathkul to be the man that he once was, to rule this nation properly, and there are tens of thousands of Kelids in this city alone who would willingly take up arms against the League if he so much as asked them to.
Yes, we had heard there was recently a disruption in some of the fluids supply, but that it was short-lived. I don't know what more subtle steps could be taken, if any, to reclaim his mind.
Well, if his supply of fluids is lessened, I mean, perhaps he's in a weakened state. I mean, honestly, you could walk right up to the man and challenge him to one-on-one combat if you thought you could stand against him. To publicly defeat him like that, you could take over sovereignship for all I care. Or if you could heal him somehow, perhaps you could convince him to rule the nation properly. Perhaps it would be easier if he has lost some access.
I see. That does seem a promising approach, to be sure.
If I may, real quick before you, I think that it would possibly be in everyone's best interest if a magnificent prison break preceded a dramatic confrontation of a particularly persuasive Kellett to his old friend. And I think that Zernabeth might agree that if we could get in and free those prisoners, so maybe we just ask her right now where the tunnel is. Sure, there's a chance she might turn around and try to sell that information, but at this point it seems like she's radioactive because she's got no juice. That's all they care about.
He'll nod and press the button back down. One of those prisoners I'd mentioned, maybe just the person we're looking for to talk some sense into the Sovereign. Are you aware of any other forms of entrance rather than going through the front gates and down, what I imagine to be several flights of stairs?
There is an underground passage from the Palace of Fallen Stars into the sub-basements of the Technic League facility, if that's what you're asking. It is seldom used. It is, as I understand it, a very dangerous place. But the passage does exist.
Well, that is good news indeed. Do you know... It seems you know where it ends up in the compound and the sub-basements, but do you have any personal knowledge as to where within the palace we might at least begin to investigate to find it?
That would be on the main floor somewhere. I don't know exactly. The way would be locked and hidden. It's probably right off the main corridor, honestly.
I'm optimistic the powers of perception within our small group might be able to locate that then with that direction. I appreciate that, but you have piqued my interest when you say that it's dangerous. Do you know anything specifically about why this passage would be so dangerous?
Oh, I'm sure it's just your standard fare, the hauntings or monsters or some such thing.
I see. Were we to locate this passage and our companions, is there anything magical or technological that would prevent us, well, of the defenses in the compound, I should say, to which I'm confident there are some, either magical, technological, both. Will we be observed even through that passage? And is it straightforward enough to just simply magically vacate the premises once we've rescued our companions, or would we be prevented from doing so?
I imagine if you're going directly into the prisons in the sub-basement, you will not be able to leave without dealing with a co-worker of mine and some of her extraplanar friends.
Oh no, is this so-and-so with the one that she was talking about with the connection to Zonkuthan?
That's my guess.
Oh, Grin?
Oh, is that coworker of yours? We may have heard of her. If she's a rather scarred individual.
That is the one, yes. She is not to be trifled. She is not to be trifled with.
Well, presuming then we find the passage, we take the passage, we locate the prisons, deal with the coworker and extraplanar associates. From then, are there protections against teleportation magic, or would we need to go back through the tunnels and back into the palace?
I would imagine you would need to get out from under the walls of the League compound at least before teleporting away.
He'll take his thumb off the button. That's a lot of helpful information. Do any of you have further questions that I should ask her?
I think that lady knows my mom. But don't ask her that. It's not a question.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, any information that she can give us about, like, what defenses, like you were basically asking. It's like, any defenses inside, patrols inside. Is there a way to move around inside where we'd attract the least amount of attention? What is invisibility? Like, the likelihood of actually being concealed by, like, any sort of, invisibility or blur? Like, are we going to go against a bunch of people that are just going to be able to just shoot through that? Those were just some that I was thinking. I mean, if we're going to pump her for information. I will say I am heartened by her answer about, like, kind of soul desire to just pursue, technological knowledge and whatnot. Yeah. Science, big science, and stay out of politics.
He'll press the button back down. Boop. Thank you for all of that information. I do wonder if I could take a little bit more of your time. The patrols and defenses within the compound, are we likely to encounter people that could see through invisibility or anything like that? Or how should we best prepare to avoid notice the most? The most straightforward approach?
You will certainly find those amongst the Technically's defenses that are able to see through invisibility in any number of tricks. The Myrmidon robots, I believe, can see invisible creatures. There are and then any number of other robots that can duplicate the trick, as well as everyone here is an accomplished spellcaster in their own right. They can certainly cast a true seeing or the equivalent sort of spell if they... I believe all of you have been as subtle as you were able to this point, but they know that you have likely at least a wizard amongst you, so they are up on some of your tricks at least. I do hope that you have new ones that they have not seen yet.
My companions and I are indeed resourceful, but I am again appreciative of your direction. Is my familiarity with this device is low. Were we to think of further questions, is this a way we can presume to reach you later?
Yes, I keep my comset tuned to this frequency. I may not always be able to respond. My situation here is slightly precarious, but I will attempt to respond should you call me.
Excellent. It does indeed seem like potential friends was a promising supposition.
I look forward to the results of our collaboration.
Likewise. And he'll pop his thumb off the button. Meanwhile, the guy behind the counter at the cake hovel is like, holy crap. Are you guys overthrowing the Technic League, man?
Wait till the guys in my Discord hear about this.
Yeah, whoa.
He was actually live streaming it the whole time. And,
Yeah. Hey guys, Jake here at Jake's Cakes. You'll never believe who they're talking to. So we have to knock out the staff who works here, put them in the bag, teleport back to Torch.
Now they've got amazing cakes at the foundry, though. Because apparently that was Jake himself. So we got really...
We're basically playing Metal Gear Solid 5 at this point. We're just knocking out people, bringing them back to our base, and making them work there.
Also, canonically, that means the one that you hate the most is the one that's run by the owner-operator.
Yeah, Jake was not that good at his job.
He's just obnoxious.
He's too busy gossiping.
he got too big for the
He made
kids.
great cakes, though. That was it.
Live
really
streaming
just
people
got her
eating
feelings
their
hurt
cakes. Oh, no.
and was like, I'm never going back there again. What do you mean too tall?
Now I kind of want to see you work it out with Jake before we leave. I guess that's... We've done enough to advance the plot. We could probably do with another 10 or 15 minutes of cake-based discussion.
We got a quick, Full House soundtrack going on in there. And she's like, hey, Jake. Takes a knee. It really hurt my feelings when you said, look at this weird tall girl eating all that cake. Is there a kinder way you could have said that?
Maybe. I was just surprised because you were like this weird tall girl eating a lot of cake.
And you know what? That's true.
But I guess I don't have to say every thought that comes into my head.
Agreed, Jake. Yeah, tell that to youth, Jake. Just go out there. You know what? That's the pod's message this week. You don't have to say everything you think, kids. Youth on the corner on my way back from the bus stop.
Definitely a listener.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you're that youth, right in.
Right in.
The only thing I could think that Zenobith could assist us with is we need to get in addition to saving our other friend, we need to get our friend out of the employ of the Shade. Unless he's just, like, done a full heel turn and, like, he's just bad Tarazi now. But I don't know if we just want to go and see if we can try to flag him down, stake out the spot, contact him, or we try to flush bad information through Zonabeth's possibly existing channels, see if we can get him and the gang to show up somewhere, and then we just kind of incapacitate everyone else besides him. And it still kind of preserves his cover, because he doesn't have to look like he's actively fighting us too much. But I do worry that something bad's going to happen to our friend. And I don't know how to explain that to his statue dog when I feed it goo.
Yeah.
It's a real whole sentence that I just said that makes sense to everyone on this call.
It's a brand new sentence. Congratulations.
Well, isn't part of his normal day-to-day, it seemed, patrolling throughout the city? Maybe we could track him down and intercept him while he's out and about, and maybe with good fortune we'd even find him without the full retinue, or the Shade at least.
We just mostly ran into robots last time, and I'm kind of worried about going anywhere. But, like, I have to imagine people are still doing their business a bit. Like, what's the patrolling death robot to just normal person ratio on the street right now?
And the streets themselves are pretty quiet. There's not really anybody, like, milling about, but there's certainly people, like, rushing from point A to point B. So, like, at any given time, more of the traffic is going to be squads of robots from what you've seen so far. And business in the cake hovels is way down.
Man.
Even the good ones.
That's why they're letting us just sit here planning our, like, junta, or, like, whatever.
We got nothing else going on.
We bought 1 cup of coffee. We can talk about deposing your leader. It's the Denny's rule. So there's got to be... I mean, we can just straight up locate creature on a Nagaji, right? Is that how that works?
No, that's the one thing you can't do.
That's the one thing I can't do. I can't remember if it is explicitly allowed or not allowed. Okay, yeah. I mean, we can try locating him. I'd have to prepare the spell another day, though. I didn't prepare it today. We could also see if Zernabeth knows, like, what frequency the Shade uses. Because assumedly she feels comfortable on the 7. So maybe she knows. We could try listening in and try to figure it out. Or is there, like, a way that we can recon through the city that's kind of, like, low-key? Like, flying invisible situation? I don't know. Just popcorning here. No bad ideas in a coup brainstorm.
Oh man, if you could look like a gargoyle and fly around, then nobody would bat an eye.
I mean, you could theoretically... Actually, wait, no, is it limited to humanoid... Are gargoyles humanoid?
I think they're monstrous humanoids.
So would they work with a disguise self spell, which is what the hats give us?
No.
Or no?
Yeah, it's a different subtype.
Yeah, different subtype.
Yeah.
Different subtype, that's what it is. Yeah.
Darn.
That's like some full-on... I don't know.
Yeah, you did like polymorph.
Yes. I was thinking about the Calvin and Hobbes word transmogrify. It's the box.
Yeah.
So about Tarazi, yeah, we could look for him, but we need to do it in a way, like you just said, like you described, either disguised as a gargoyle or something else. And yeah, I'm wondering if it's going to be easier, if we know where he sleeps, if it'd be easier to just try to sneak in and get him, like dimension door in, wake him up, dimension door out sort of thing, in the middle of the night. That way we can just, and yeah, I'm going to have to prepare spells for that. It would have to be a tomorrow thing, but we could do it tomorrow night and then see if he has any ideas about things he's learned, anything that might influence our decision-making process, because ultimately he's not just getting valuable resume experience as a free-roving, head-crushing thug. He's also gaining information for us. So I don't know how people feel about that timeline.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. It sounds like it's probably the earliest we can do it, so it makes sense to me.
Me too.
If we don't have to do locate, though, do you have dimension doors prepped for us to just do that tonight?
I only have one prepared dimension door, unfortunately. Yeah, well, I mean, at the same time, that's not the, could dimension door in and then sneak out, or sneak in, dimension door out sort of situation too. Alwyn,
Could bonded item it.
you don't have dimension. No, I used bonded item today. Unfortunately, it was dumb, but I used it to lightning bolt. Right after I was like, I'm going to get into another freaking need for, but I'm wondering, because like you have particulate form that could allow you to get in.
Yeah.
Don't we have like a gaseous form? Like something somewhere?
The weird thing about particulate form is I don't think it actually does let you like go through stuff, even though you turn into particles.
Oh, I have gaseous form.
Yeah, I was gonna say gaseous form was one of what's his face's spells.
Furcus's spells.
Yeah, Furcus.
Shout. But I also didn't prepare it today, so that doesn't help me.
Yeah.
If I need to swipe something, I could swipe. Can I swipe Tarasi out of the building? Is he being wielded?
Only if somebody's holding him.
I have the wand of Oozemorph or whatever it is. We could just purposely fail that. What is that? Wand of Touch of Slime.
Well, let's see.
Turns your target into a green slime if they fail their save.
So I still have... ultimately I still have one teleport greater remaining, because I used a regular teleport to go to Torch. So that could be... that is something potentially as well. We could do it tonight, because a Dimension Door and a greater teleport are exactly the same. Oh, yeah. And I could even go somewhere, cast Mage's Magnificent Mansion, and then go break him out, and then teleport right back to where the mansion is. And then we go inside. Bob's your uncle. Brixby doesn't have to go alone. He can go with somebody else, or multiple people. We can all go. It's just sneaking to get there. That's going to suck a little bit.
But nobody's looking for an tiefling.
That is true. I could just walk the streets. You're totally right. This isn't my naughty form. I am in my good form, despite my appearance. Does that apply? Well, okay, you're a giant chicken. That's just. I don't know if that's gonna work.
Well, I'm a tengu that looks like a black chicken.
How do you look very different from yourself right now, Cassius? Or are you just strawberry blonde?
Mostly just strawberry blonde. I think.
I thought you did stuff to your face too, not just your hair. Or did we decide you didn't? I can't remember. When you did your disguise kit.
That was
A
months
little
ago.
blush.
That was literally 1,000
I should know this. I
years
literally
ago.
listened to that episode today.
Because I mean, like Kira could definitely come. I feel like you look different than what you have looked like since the last time we did bad, right?
Orlando.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Orlando. Okay, yeah. So I just, aside from Rix and Kira, that could just be. That seems like a good breakout team. The OG.
Kira strong, Brick smart.
Reliable 4 2. Yeah, I'm super down for a strong, smart breakout. Where do we want to do our magnificent mansion? Do we just want to do it behind this cake oval?
I like the cake oval. We are close to breakfast.
That is true.
We get our breakfast cake, which I guess is just a pancake.
Cake being the most important meal of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Basement cake. Breakfast basement cake.
BBC.
BC. All right, let's pop a little mansion behind here. Go into it. Which we can use for our continued plotting. So, Mage's Magnificent Mansion, level 7 prepared spell, conjured up an extra-dimensional dwelling that has a single entrance on the plane from which the spell was cast. Looks like a faint shimmering in the air that is 4 feet wide and 8 feet high. Only those that you designate may enter the mansion. When the portal's shut, it is invisible behind you. You can open it again from your own side at will. Once observers have passed beyond the entrance, there's a magnificent foyer with numerous chambers beyond. The atmosphere is clean, fresh, warm. Floor plan is fantastic. We have near transparent servants. So 2 per caster level, so we have 28 unseen servants running around, and yeah.
That's absurd.
It is. That is a lot. That's so much. And we can have a 9-course banquet to over 12 people per caster level. Wow, we could we should be renting this out on Airbnb every night that I have a free 7th level spell. We could be passively making a lot of money.
Gonna have to get permits for that magnificent mansion. Otherwise,
Get your laws off my magnificent mansion. Yeah, do we want to continue on with our plan and try to do our night strike, or do we want to
Night strike.
Cliffy in the mansion?
Well, anything else you want to do during the day, or we cut into night strike? It's like
Night strike.
Night strike.
Night strike.
All right.
Night strike. Night strike.
night strike. All right, so what does it look like? We're just having Kira and Brixby pop right into the Shade's house at night?
Cast telepathic bond on everybody before we leave. Yeah, the 2 of us go wandering. Orlando and the tiefling. And then when we get to the barracks, essentially look inside, confirm the people are asleep. Ideally, they all haven't recently attached fashion scales so we can tell which one is our friend. And then zoop in, grab him, zoop out, back to Mansion Town. Well, the door outside of the mansion, because we can't go directly in that way. I think that's what I am envisioning. I don't know if anybody has a...
Jeff looks like he has a...
I do have a question. Will telepathic bond work in an extra dimensional space, or are we technically in a different plane?
I think it doesn't, unless we're all on it, right? Because doesn't it not work across planes?
Oh, okay. Not from one plane to another, but does that... I guess it is an extra dimensional dwelling, so that it's technically a special small...
Yeah, because that's why people can't even scry you when you're in them and stuff. That's one of the good things about them.
It's still
they're considered another plane.
Still makes sense to have it though, because it's more for Brix and Kira to communicate, and then also if everything goes to hell kind of feeling. But I can't imagine that we'll be doing... That is a good point, but we won't be able to
Well, and if you
back.
take a long time, literally all one of us has to do is step out of it, and we can immediately be able to contact you.
Totally.
If we're worried about anything.
So I believe that is it. Yeah, we stroll up. Gentleman's peep through the window and figure out who it... I retract that statement. We peek through the window and try to determine which one is our friend, and then commence the absconding.
Yeah, from the outside, you see the sleeping forms of 4 dudes. It's hard to tell which one was Tarazi. It just looked like 4 guys. They're all sort of comparably big and strong guys. Maybe if you're in there, you'll be able to tell better.
I'm do I want to do the heartwarming thing where we zoop in there and then I destatuify Rusty and I'm find your dad, and then he jumps on the wrong person because they have a hamburger or something on their bed.
The nighttime burger blanket.
Oh no, my nighttime hamburger.
Who among us hasn't brought a nighttime hamburger to bed? It's the best time for a hamburger.
Yeah, what if you wake up and you're hungry?
A breakfast cake and a nighttime hamburger. In between
just
a perfect
walking
day.
around meat in between.
Yeah. Some people put a glass of water by their bedside. Some people take a hamburger to bed with them.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it as an alternative to a glass of water, but I'm going to have completely different plans when I go to sleep.
Hey, you drink the ketchup.
Yep.
Oh boy.
So, is there literally anything I haven't a spell that I could use to determine?
Do I have? I have a... Can I bring my cat with me and just tuck the cat through the window?
Well, we can zoop in, but do you want to identify before we zoop, kind of feeling and then just...
If there's any way for the cat to identify from there, I know it can say meow.
I was going to say, what is the purpose of sneaking the cat into the building?
Does the
Wake
cat
everybody
know
For fun.
how to identify a magically concealed snakeman?
Oh, right, magically concealed. Okay, fair.
Thank you,
I
Sam.
didn't even think about that. Sleeping with the hat of disguise on, he really would just be a Kelad dude.
Right, and that is why I'm going to cast Detect Magic. Thank you, Sam. That makes so much sense. I have to envision that he has, it'll be easier to determine who he was.
Oh, is that you're casting it from outside, or is this after you zoop in?
We could zoop. Honestly, the longer we're outside, the more of a risk that we run getting hit by a patrol. I say we zoop, and then I would love to use my tricky spells so it's silent and still.
Okay, so secret zoop or secret detect magic. And Brix and Kira zoop into the barracks. They find the 4 sleeping human guards. There's definitely a bunch of magic stuff and like foot lockers at the foot of each of the beds, probably where they keep like whatever gear they have, and they're all snoring away. One of them is just a real like Olympic level snorer. But as Brixby scans these 4 guys looking for your friend, he doesn't find the telltale illusion aura that would indicate a hat of disguise. Doesn't seem like any of these 4 guys are Tarazi. And I'm going to bed.
Oh,
no.
no. Why would you do that?
They all stand up and they're all the shade.
Dun dun dun.
Good night,
geez.
Sam.
Ah, gosh.
Sam.
Ah, boy. Oh, man.
Good night,
Good night,
Sam.
Tarazi, wherever you are.
Good night,
night,
the
everyone.
4 people that I'm currently looming over while they're sleeping.
This just got creepy.
Machine. Against the machine.
Pot Against the Machine is property of Network Against the Machine LLC, all rights reserved. Pathfinder and the Iron Gods Adventure Path are property of Paizo Publishing. See their website for more details. Theme Against the Machine was written and performed by our own Zach. See the show notes for additional music and sound licensing. If you enjoyed the show, we encourage you to leave us a review.
It's kind of showing our trump card. Sorry, showing our trump card. I don't know what that word was, but it was certainly not card. Happens every once in a while.
I like the solidarity awkward.
That was a pretty good clap for me. I feel good about that clap.
Yeah, no, honestly, I'm feeling like I just uncovered a new technique.
I'm going to have to come in with the awkward clap every time. Exactly, Jeff.
What is Pot Against the Machine if not awkward clapping?
Awkward claps.
Also, I think I just uploaded my app to like nowhere. I did. I just
It
uploaded.
happens.
I just hit new and uploaded my last episode without going into any folders or anything. So let me find where that is.
Dropped it onto the fan Discord. Yeah, I like to imagine it as like a Gossip Girl thing, which I know is probably only Izzy has watched. Has anyone else watched Gossip Girl? Have you watched Gossip Girl? I assume
I
you've
have
watched
not
Gossip
watched
Girl.
Gossip Girl.
Oh my God. I am
I was-
alone in watching all
Sorry,
of Gossip
Zach.
Girl.
I've also not watched Gossip Girl.
See, I just feel like you and I probably watch the trashiest television at times.
That's fair.
So
but
that is-
mine was
that's
all
the
reality
reason.
TV, so
That's fair. And it wasn't it was Clara had me watch Gossip Girl. I didn't enjoy it as much as the Gilmore Girl. The whole girl cinematic universe is interesting. But yeah, no, Gossip Girl always has like at the end of their episodes like, something's going to happen to you. Like, Zernabeth, are you going to knock out Zach? You know what I mean? So I'm envisioning these like saucy little like, because there's a voiceover throughout all of it as well. Now that we get into the like court intrigue of the Technic League, kind of just feels like a bunch of mean girls with technology.
XOXO, Zach.
XOXO. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
I know that one.
Basically,
I know that one.
yes, that's all you need. Strongly encourage. I'm going to probably not leave any of this conversation in when I edit this.
Leave it in.
Can't imagine there's a big Gossip Girl our fan base Venn diagram, but maybe someone will.
If you reach
join
one
me in there.
person, that's
Just
something.
one. That's true. I'm here for you, that person. Write in. Legitimately. I want to know this time.